Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. Today we're going to be flowing through a intermediate/advanced Vinyasa flow. You do not need any props for the practice, but of course, if you have blocks there, they can always be a great tool or a strap, whatever you're used to using. Please feel free to have it nearby. All right, we're going to start today's practice on our backs in a constructive rest. So bringing the feet wide apart and knees together, and then just making your way all the way down, nice and comfortable. Knocking the knees in towards each other. Let's bring the right hand on the stomach, left hand on the chest. And close the eyes, start to arrive onto your mat. So taking these first few moments of the practice to notice the space around you, the sounds around you, the temperature of the air, feeling the texture of your clothes against your skin, and becoming aware of your breath, noticing the air as it enters the body and leaves, and feeling how the breath moves without trying to control it just yet. Maybe you can feel the rise and fall of the chest, and the difference of temperature as the air enters the nose and leaves through the nose. And start to find a rhythm of breath that works for you today, finding equal length inhales and exhales. And if possible, for the rest of the practice, breathing exclusively through the nose. On your next inhale, let's bring both knees into the chest. You can hold the tops of the knees and start to rock side to side. And then let's keep the right knee into the chest, extend the left leg long, and with the help of both hands, let's circle the right knee in one direction and in the other. And now keeping the knee into the chest, breathing in, let's lift the forehead up to the knee. Either stay here or maybe reach the arms around the right leg, and maybe lift your left leg off the mat to a hover for 5. Trying to bring the forehead against the knee. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Let's twist. Right knee goes over to the left, or right arm reaches out to the right. And deep belly breaths here, feeling the twist along the spine, feeling the twist in your belly, the compression and release as you breathe. On your next inhale, let's come back through center, bring both knees into the chest, and then extend the right leg, left knee in. Let's circle the left knee with the help of both hands in one direction and in the other. And now keeping the left knee in, breathe in. Let's lift the forehead to the knee. And then either stay there or reach the arms around the left leg. Lift the right leg to a hover for 5. 4, 3, squeezing navel in. 2, and 1. Release. Let's twist. Left knee goes over to the right. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, let's come back through center. Bringing both knees into the chest, let's start to rock back and forth. Gaining a lot of momentum, we're going to make our way to high mountain, with or without the help of the hands. Inhale. Exhale, rock all the way back. Inhale, high mountain for 4, 3, 2, and 1. High mountain breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees generously, grab opposite hand to opposite elbow and sway the upper body side to side. And releasing the hands down on the mat. Deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. And one more deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And last one, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees as much as you can, come into a little squat. Inhale, straighten the legs, halfway lift. Exhale, squat. And just warming up the legs, trying to keep your heels grounded if possible. Let's do 2 more. And last one, halfway lift. Now let's plant the hands, step back, high plank. And deep breath in here. For a count of 5, lower all the way down to the mat with or without the help of the knees. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Extend the right arm out to the right. Look to the left. Let's keep the left elbow bent. Bend the left knee and roll onto the right side of the body. 3 deep breaths here. On your next exhale, let's come back onto the belly, switch, left arm reaches out, bend the right knee, roll onto the left side. And on your next exhale, let's come back onto the belly, tuck the toes, let's make our way back to child's pose with the toes tucked. 1 breath here. On your next inhale, look between your hands. Let's come into a high plank. Exhale, child's pose with the toes tucked, but keep the knees to a hover. Inhale, move forward, high plank. Exhale, send it back. For 3, 2, and 1. For a count of 5, come all the way down to the mat for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Baby cobra, untuck the toes, lift the chest. Make sure you're using your back strength. Exhale, lower. Inhale again, lift. Exhale, release. 1 more. And release. Tuck the toes, high plank, inhale with or without the help of the knees. Exhale, downward facing dog, send it back. You can walk out the legs, bending and straightening the knees one at a time. Feels really nice to move the hips side to side, maybe shake out the head. Let's take 3 more breaths here, slowly finding stillness in your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, the right leg rises. Let's bend the right knee, open up the hip, and circle out the right leg in one direction and in the other. And breathing in, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right elbow for 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold. Try to touch the right knee to the right shoulder for 3, 2, and 1. Right foot steps on the outside of the right hand. And let's start to move in any direction that feels good. So maybe fully straightening the right leg, maybe staying still today, or just moving the hips side to side. And just make sure you're keeping the chest lifted, engaging through the left glute. And now re-bending the right knee, let's step the left foot forward. Active squat, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, left hand comes down on the mat. Let's reach the right arm up, twist. And let's circle out the right wrist in one direction and the other. Both hands come back to the heart space. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches up. Circle the left wrist. And switch. Let's come back to center. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach the arms up, heel toe the feet together. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift to breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Lower halfway, pause. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Chaturanga or upward facing dog, breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more deep breath here. On your next inhale, left leg rises. Bend the left knee, open up the hip. And let's circle the left knee in one direction, trying to keep the arms straight and making sure the left shoulder stays closed. And switch directions. Let's straighten the left leg. Exhale, left knee, left elbow for 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Lift your left knee up as high as you can for 3, 2, and 1. Left foot steps on the outside of the left hand. Come onto the fingertips, and let's start to move in any direction that feels good. You can even close your eyes here to feel a little more connected to your breath. And now keeping the left knee bent, let's step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Active squat, inhale, let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees even more, malasana. And now growing a little bit taller through the crown of the head. On your next exhale, let's make our way into a low boat, sitting down. Inhale, high boat for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock back and forth, high mountain. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift to breathe in. Plant the hands, step back, high plank. Deep breath in. Lower halfway. Inhale, back to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, right leg rises. Bend the right knee, open up the hip. Let's flip the dog into a wild thing. Right arm reaches up, hold it. And on your next exhale, right hand comes down on the mat. Right knee to right elbow or shoulder once. Inhale back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, right foot steps on the outside of the right hand. Breathe in here, breathe out, skandasana on the left leg, staying nice and low. And from here, we're going to make our way to the top of the mat. Into a lunge, right arm reaches up to the sky. On your next inhale, keeping the arms as they are, let's lift the chest, and hold, vertical twist. And breathing in, left arm reaches up, right arm reaches back and down. So we're stretching out the whole front of the left hip. And then we're just going to circle the right arm forward, come into crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the heart space, step your left foot to the outside of the mat. So coming into an active squat, feet are quite wide apart. Left hand finds the floor, right arm reaches up. Now left foot steps behind the left leg and let's stretch out the right glute. From here, we're going to step the right foot behind the left leg, coming into fallen star. On your next exhale, let's sit down. Right hand comes just in front of you, and then we're going to see if we can press into the mat, lift the hips. Option to also lift the feet. For 3, 2, and 1, release. Let's come back to fallen star. Left hand is behind your left hip. And then plant your right hand, 3-legged plank or normal high plank, chaturanga. Deep breath in and out here. On your next inhale, left leg rises. Bend the left knee, open up the hip. Wild thing, let's flip the dog. And we're moving through this sequence, holding each shape. We're going to be flowing through it afterward. Now from here, left hand comes down. Let's bring the left knee to the left elbow. Send it back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left foot steps on the outside of the left hand. Skandasana to the back of the mat, bending the right knee. Hold. Super humid and sweaty today. Let's try to lengthen the spine, really opening up the right hip. Now from here, crescent lunge or lunge to the top of the mat. Right hand stays planted, left arm reaches up. And then keeping the arms as they are, just lift the chest, come into your crescent lunge, squeezing the inner thighs together, squeezing the right glute. Left hand finds the back of the right thigh, right arm reaches up for a slight back bend. And now let's just circle the left arm forward, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the heart space, right foot steps to the top right corner of the mat. Right hand finds the floor, left arm reaches up. And then right foot steps behind your left leg. Okay, so the left leg is nice and bent, right leg is straight. From here, left foot steps over the right leg, fallen star. And as you breathe out, let's slowly sit down. Left hand comes just in front of you between the legs. Let's press into the hands, lift the hips and hold. Maybe lift the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Back to fallen star. Inhale. Exhale, plant the left hand, 3-legged plank or high plank, chaturanga. Back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. Good. On your next inhale, let's move forward into a high plank, rounding the spine, and then as the shoulders come over the ears, drop the hips, squeeze the glutes, open up the heart. As you breathe out, chin into chest, round the spine, push the mat away, come back to down dog. A few more like that, breathing in, come all the way forward, drop the hips, open up the chest, and the whole length of the exhale takes you back to downward facing dog. Let's do 2 more. Last one here. And finding downward facing dog again. Deep breath in, right leg rises. Bend the right knee, open up the hip, wild thing. Now let's try to keep the right arm in the air. Right foot will step to the top right corner of the mat, either bending the right knee or trying to straighten the right leg before you get there, going nice and slow. From here, Skandasana on the left leg, maybe left arm reaches up. And then let's make our way into our crescent lunge with a vertical twist. Right hand finds the left leg. Continue circling the right arm, crescent lunge. Exhale, step forward, hands to the heart space. Left hand finds the floor, right arm reaches up. Left foot crosses behind the right, fallen star. Let's step the stretch, and now fallen star. Right foot steps over the left leg. 3 times, let's lower the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And one more time. Inhale, lift back up. Right hand comes back down on the mat, 3-legged dog. Left leg rises into 3-legged high plank, chaturanga. And then one more time, flowing through that on the left side. Left leg rises, breathe in. Bend the left knee, open up the hip, flip the dog. Let's step the left foot to the top left corner of the mat, nice and slow motion. Maybe straightening the left leg before you get there, and going really slow. Skandasana on your right leg, maybe right arm reaches up. And then coming all the way into crescent lunge with a vertical twist and the back bend. Inhale, left arm reaches forward, crescent. Exhale, hands to the heart space, right foot steps to the top right corner of the mat. Let's bring the right hand down to the floor, left arm reaches. And then right foot will cross behind the left leg, coming onto the outer blade of the right foot. Left foot steps over the right to the back of the mat, fallen star. Exhale, lower the hips for 3. Inhale, lift. 2. And 1. And let's make our way into 3-legged dog. Right leg rises into 3-legged high plank and 3-legged chaturanga. All the way back to downward facing dog. Feet are hip width distance apart. Let's go ahead and walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Peace fingers wrap around the big toes. Take a deep breath in, halfway lift. Exhale to fold the elbows out to the sides. 5 breaths here. On your next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, let's roll up high mountain. Reaching the arms above the head. Exhale, interlace the hands at the lower back. Open up the heart as you inhale, and then fold forward. Exhale, maybe bringing chin into the chest. 2 more breaths. As you breathe out, let's release the hands down on the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. And then let's walk the hands all the way up to the top of the mat, high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, high plank. And then your chaturanga. All the way back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, let's lift the right leg up high. Bend the right knee, open up the hip, wild thing. And then stepping that right foot to the top right corner of the mat again, in whatever way you choose. Let's come into Skandasana, back of the mat. Holding here, maybe sit down on the mat with or without the help of the hands. Right hand will come behind your right leg, creating a triangle between your right ankle, right hip, and right hand. Let's come into a very wide-legged wild thing. And as you breathe out, let's sit back down. And then pivot now to the back of the mat. Right hand finds the floor, left arm reaches up. Inhale, crescent lunge, circle the left arm back. So now we're facing the back of the mat. Hands to the heart space, let's move forward, warrior three. Now as you breathe out, right knee crosses behind the left calf, hands to the heart space. Inhale, warrior three, straighten everything. For 5, exhale, round. 4, 3, finding a point of focus. 2, and 1. Right knee into the chest, stand up tall. Exhale, figure 4, cross the right ankle over the left leg. And on your next inhale, come into chair pose, reach the arms up. Exhale, low boat. And hold for 5, 4, maybe reaching the arms up, 3, keeping the middle back grounded, 2, and 1. Let's rock back and forth, high mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let's plant the hands, step back, high plank. Deep breath in, lower halfway and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. High plank, chaturanga. Into upward facing dog or cobra, back to down dog. Last standing sequence on the left side. Left leg rises, breathe in. Bend the left knee, open up the hip, wild thing. Left foot steps to the top left corner of the mat, trying to go very, very slowly. And then into Skandasana, back of the mat. Left hand will now come behind your left leg for a very wide-legged wild thing. Take your time to get there. And now as you breathe out, let's rebend the right knee, pivot into a lunge. Left arm is on the floor, right arm reaches up. Let's circle the right arm back, lift the chest, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior three. Breathe in here. Now breathe out, little bow, left knee crosses behind the right calf. Inhale, extend for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left knee into the chest, stand up tall, and then let's cross the left ankle over the right knee and hold. As you breathe in, chair pose. And then exhale, let's sit down on the mat. Peace fingers go around the big toes, and let's extend the legs and hold. From here, let's try to keep the bind, open the legs, and hold for 5. Squeezing shoulder blades together, trying to open up the chest. Now, if you're okay with this, maybe keeping the bind, let's drop the legs down on the mat. You can, of course, let go of the bind first. Just make sure you're safe. Don't do anything that you're not sure about. And so maybe tipping forward, coming into a forward fold with straddle legs. So legs wide apart, toes are flexed, thighs are super engaged. As you breathe in, let's walk our way back up. Bring both knees together for reverse tabletop. Hands come just behind the hips. Let's press into the heels, lift the spine. Maybe the head drops back. And slowly lower back down. Extend your arms out in front of you, one vertebra at a time. Let's come all the way down to the back. Knees into the chest. Let's rock side to side. And now I invite you to take any shape that you feel you still need before we go into shavasana. So maybe it's a hip opener, maybe an inversion, shoulder stand, headstand, maybe happy baby, whatever feels good, whatever you want to take. I will go into shoulder stand, but you're more than welcome to do anything else. And very slowly, we will come all the way back down to the mat. Hugging the knees into the chest, let's lift the forehead up to the knees. Hold the breath and squeeze for 3, 2, 1, and let it all go. Shavasana, and deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. One more deep inhale. And release. Notice the heat in the body. Maybe you can feel the body cooling down already. Feeling the rhythm of the heartbeat, the breath, without trying to control it anymore. And you've worked very hard today, so I hope that you can enjoy this rest. But just know that you never need to work hard to deserve rest. You always deserve rest. Rest is how we heal, it's how we nurture ourselves. It's how we're able to be the best version of ourselves so that we can then give our best self to the rest of the world. So always make sure you make time for yourself, time to fill your own cup, time to rest. I know it is tempting to walk away from shavasana now, but I would hope that you can stay here with me for another 2 minutes or so. Just enough to really give our body the time to reap all the benefits of the practice, leaving nothing on the table. can stay here in shavasana for longer, or meet me in a comfortable seat, moving slowly and mindfully. And just checking in with yourself, noticing how you're feeling right now after the practice. Noticing if anything has shifted mentally and physically. As you breathe in, let's reach the arms above the head. Exhaling, hands to the heart space. As you go forth into the rest of your day, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and in your heart. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I hope you enjoyed it. It was super strong, so make sure you drink a lot of water afterwards. And if you'd like to support my channel, the best thing you can do is subscribe and interact with me, so leaving a like or a comment would be fantastic. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.